The crisis along the border here is only growing as more desperate families try and find out some information about their loved ones. Lawmakers back in Washington are scrambling to find some sort of solution. This is as anger really boiled over at Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen just a day after she passionately defended the administration's zero-tolerance policy. The face of the Trump administration's controversial family separation policy, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen blasted by protesters overnight while trying to eat dinner at a Mexican restaurant in the nation's capital.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is in a Mexican restaurant of all places. The goal. Shame on you! Shame!
Nielsen tried to ignore the shouting before finally leaving. This as a new report surfaced overnight, not verified by NBC News, saying the Trump administration is housing hundreds of babies and toddlers in at least 3 facilities in South Texas. The Associated Press reporting lawyers and medical providers who have visited the tender-age shelters described playrooms of crying preschool-aged children in crisis.
Muchas gracias.
The Mexican government condemning the president's zero-tolerance policy, calling it cruel and inhumane. Officials there pointing to one case involving a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was separated from her mother last week and sent to a detention center in Texas.
Sure.
On Fox News overnight, former Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski mocked the mention of the young girl.
I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say want to a 10-year-old with Down syndrome being taken from her mother?
Pick anything you want up at the...
Now, anger and frustration is mounting on Capitol Hill, with leaders in the president's own party saying they are eager to change the separation policy.
It's not American to do this.
There's no justification for families being separated.
Late Tuesday, the president met with House Republicans.
We're going to try and see if we can fix it. Thank you very much.
But in the halls, a group of Democrats were waiting for it.
Mr. President, don't you have kids?
2 sources tell NBC News the president told Republicans he wants to see a solution for immigration that deals with border security, provides money for the wall, and reunites kids with families. And as the pressure builds, the president is doubling down. Speaking at a small business event earlier in the day, Mr. Trump literally hugging an American flag and taking a hard line.
We have no wall. We have no border security. Without a border, you don't have a country.
Craig, you've been there a couple days now. What are you hearing on the ground?
You know, I talked to a lawyer yesterday, Savannah, who's representing dozens of these families who are being detained, and he told me that the overarching emotion is heartbreak and confusion. A lot of these folks just don't know about the new policy. There's a woman who came up from Honduras. She says that she was trying to flee violence there. Some of her family members had been murdered. Her 6-year-old son was taken from her during processing. Naturally, she was very angry and confused. Talked to an advocate yesterday who pointed out that in the United States of America, typically if mommy or daddy breaks a law, if it's a misdemeanor, which crossing the border illegally is, if it's a misdemeanor, typically their child isn't taken away and placed in a detention center for 51 days on average. All of that being said, we talked to some ranchers yesterday along the border who maintain that this is a crisis that has persisted for so long. They are just glad that this administration is trying to do something, anything, to try and fix it.
Craig Melvin starting us off this morning. Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.